Something is wrong, 2024. Now, what is actually wrong? Well, according to the people that frequent this subreddit, Donald Trump stole the 2024 election with the help of Elon Musk hacking the voting machines, and they're here to tell us why. This is a subreddit that I first saw right after the election, and to be fair, it is a very small subset of liberals, but we know how leftist Reddit is, and they could not accept the fact that Donald Trump not only won the election, but won every single swing state. And by the way, it wasn't even like a state was within 20 or 30,000 votes to where you could kind of conjure up a excuse on potential cheating. The first thing I met with when I go to this subreddit is this pinned post. It says, Election Truth Alliance seeking lawyers for suits they'll bring to North Carolina, Florida, and Texas. So I guess they're trying to sue because they think the election was stolen or they've got some type of evidence. I'll be honest, guys. I've wanted to do a video on this subreddit, and I was very disappointed with the top post because I thought they would at least be able to gather some type of like fake evidence or some video or something. But it's just like, it's the biggest boomer liberal QAnon, or I guess Blue Anon slop you could think of. So let's go through. These are their top posts, the top upvoted posts all time on this subreddit. This is the number one post. It says, I am seeing more and more of this. So this is some random liberal on Twitter who says supposedly Trump won all 7 swing states, but only 10,000 show up to his birthday party and 11 million protested against him. Something is off with the election. It's like next level boomer slop. Because there were more people that protested, that means he rigged the election. By the way, where's she getting the 10,000 number? They're talking about the military parade. I think more than 10,000 people showed up to the military parade. But it's just, there's not even like there's evidence to that. This is the second most upvoted thing. Glad someone is saying this. Rosie O'Donnell pointed out the obvious. And now Trump is trying to silence her. She says, quote, I question why the first time in American history a president has won every single swing state. It's not even, I don't even know what she's saying. It's not the first time a president has won we've seen presidents win over 500 electoral votes. So she's already wrong. And his largest donor is a man who owns and runs the internet. This is the second most upvoted thing. It is a completely false statement on insinuating that no other person has won every swing state and been elected. By the way, Rosie O'Donnell fled to Ireland and then insinuating that Musk stole it, of course. You can see this one. Those of us here are not surprised. So this is another just screenshot of a tweet. Nonpartisan election nonprofit finds evidence of voter manipulation in the 2024 election, calls for investigation. Quote, the analysis shows patterns consistent with voter manipulation. That was back in April. I wonder how that investigation went. I have a feeling it didn't go anywhere. I don't know. Maybe all the people in the subreddit paid money and funded some type of investigation. Here's another one. Guys, folks, Elon is telling on himself and Trump in the wake of their nasty divorce. So Elon Musk says, without me, Trump would have lost the election. Dems would control the House and Republicans would be up by only 2 seats in the Senate. Such ingratitude. So Musk there talking about the money that he had given to Trump. And honestly, I think a lot of people disagree with Musk in that statement. He's very self-centered. He's very emotional. But with these people, it's next level because these people genuinely believe that Elon Musk risked everything to win Donald Trump the election. They say he hacked machines with his influence. And remember when Musk went on, or I don't think it was Musk going on Joe Rogan. I think it was Joe Rogan saying in one of his podcast episodes after the election that he was talking to Elon on the night of the election, and Elon was telling Rogan that he knew based on the data that he had. And honestly, I think Elon is kind of full of shit, but he had some type of internal data, he said, and he knew before, 8 o'clock at night that Trump had won the election on election night. And so they interpret it as, oh, Elon hacked it, so that's the reason he knew that that Trump had won. But this has got to be a crazy, like the Elon-Trump breakup had to have been, I mean, that is a seismic moment for these people because these people believe Elon Musk, I mean, he risked everything to win Trump this election and he's already breaking up with him and he's out of his administration within 5 months. That's not a very good return on investment. Here's one of the good old theories people couldn't cope with. Well, there's two different ones. Number one, it's the shooter was a Republican, which is completely false. And then number two is Trump staged the shooting. And so we're going to go into this. So this is another very highly, because now, I mean, what happens with these subreddits, especially a subreddit like this, which is based on such a ridiculous, nonsensical thing, they devolve into just liberal slot fest echo chambers. I mean, it's like 90% of Reddit. Trump didn't win the election, and he also didn't get shot. So this references, looks like an Instagram post. Most experts agree that he was not shot, not grazed, no actual bleeding from a wound. He refused treatment at a hospital. There is no doctor's report. It's physically impossible for cartilage tissue to heal as quickly as his did, especially for a 78-year-old man. If it was, Evander Holyfield's ear would have regrown after Mike Tyson bit a piece of it off. Well, I think Holyfield had a significantly worse ear injury than Trump. But the point, listen, this is what I'm trying to understand. Okay. You could make the, I mean, I would say that Trump, for staging this shooting, is even more of a badass. I mean, think about it. Trump takes a 22-year-old, 110-pound kid who looks like he's got like 5 personality disorders, and he's on probably 10 different medications. And he tells him, here's a rifle, go to the roof, and miss me by like a centimeter to the point to where we can see the bullet whiz past my head, and then maybe, to make it seem real, kill someone in the stands. And we'll get away with it. And you'll die doing it. But I mean, this is kind of how these people are. Now with liberals, they're able to keep it down. The conspiracy side, they're able to keep it down. But a lot liberals do genuinely believe, some of them believe, that Trump somehow staged the shooting, even with the death of the firefighter. So much for family values. Never forget that 211 House Republicans voted to protect pedos. So this is an interesting concept to go over, the whole Epstein stuff. It's funny that the only reason this is even being talked about is because of Republicans. Under the Democrats, Joe Biden didn't do a single thing about Epstein. There's no investigation. Nobody cared. How is that possible? How evil are the Democratic people to not demand that their representatives investigate Epstein? At least Republicans are doing that, and that's the whole reason why the entire thing's blown up in Trump's face. It's also Trump's handling of it to a large degree, 100%. But it is funny, the dynamic of the Democrats being self-righteous now and caring about the victims when, for so long, because Bill Clinton was implicated, and there was no talk, especially during the election, when it would have been extremely politically advantageous for the Democrats to dig up something on Trump and Epstein. There was no talk of Trump and Epstein, and now suddenly the Republican base is getting angry, and the Democrats now are jumping on the bandwagon. But the only reason this is even an issue is because the Republican voter base wanted government accountability and government transparency. The Democrats had 4 straight years. There was nothing. It was a conspiracy theory. Now it matters because it makes Trump look bad. So it's just funny, the dynamic of that. And then they project, and it's like, well, if it was up to you guys, and Kamala had won, I highly doubt there would be any talk of Epstein. I don't think any of the Democratic base cares at all. I mean, they proved it under Biden's term. They didn't care. There was no talk about it. So I do have to warn everyone, we have some breaking news. Class action against Trump, Musk, and election officials for election interference. This is a major statement. Let me read this. We have the data, the patterns, and the proof. Now it's time to take legal action. For months, we've been analyzing voter data, election results, and other critical information. And what we found points to widespread election interference. The numbers don't add up. The patterns don't make sense. The statistical anomalies defy natural voting trends. It's clear that something is deeply, deeply wrong. Trump, Musk, and their network rigged the system in real time, then wiped out the people investigating them. Trump's $30 billion lawsuit for election interference got me thinking. A class action lawsuit may be the best way forward. I filed strategically. It could expose corruption, force discovery of internal communications, and put out our findings in the public eye. And let's not forget, Biden had 235 judges confirmed. If there was ever a time to try this, it would be now. Even if nothing else happens, it would get media attention. They couldn't ignore it. All right, I think pretty much everyone ignored whatever this was. Because guys, I wonder what happened with this. I would imagine, here's a spoiler alert, I think everyone ignored it. But either way, guys, just a little fun little video there. Make sure you like the video down below. That's going to do it for this one. Also, follow me on X. Link to that's always in the description.